I believe people can communicate in dreams on their way in and on their way out of this world. I similarly, like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for me, you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that. And it was the immediate sense I got, actually. And I don't know who exactly it is that betrayed him, but I also felt in the dream that it is soon going to be revealed, that it's actually inevitable that it is going to be revealed, that there is nothing and no one that is going to stop the truth from coming out, and it is going to have international consequences. Take that to the bank. Quote me on that.
Last night, Candace Owens went all out and made some very serious claims.
But I want to tell you that I actually believe that this was a military hit that involved foreign actors and also literal actors. I believe that that day ran something akin to JFK's assassination.
Now, she tried to give some context as to why she thinks this was a military hit.
I believe that there were therefore multiple decoys on the ground. I do not believe, just so I'm clear here, that the person who was walking up the stairs killed Charlie. In fact, my suspicion is that that photo was not even shot on the same day. I do not believe that the person who ran across Losey rooftop killed Charlie. I think it was another decoy. I do not believe that shot came from a Losey center at all. And we all know that decoy George Zinn didn't kill Charlie. And I received an interesting tip about him as well, that he's much more connected than what meets the surface. He potentially has connections to the federal department, familial connections to the federal department, and we are prodding that. It's getting interesting. Anyway, that would suggest that there are thus far a total of 4 decoys, like George Zinn, staircase guy, maroon shirt guy, and Losey center guy, none of which I believe actually pulled the trigger. Call it a hunch. I think it's much more likely that Lance Twiggs is the one that is walking in that maroon shirt. His build is nothing like Tyler Robinson's build. Lance Twiggs is thinner.
To anyone who thinks she's making things up just to stir the pot, I'm going to prove every single claim she just made right there. And I'm going to do it using exclusive clips that I've been sharing on multiple platforms for about a month. So let's start things off with the biggest claim Candace made right there. The shot was not fired from the Losey building. Now, this isn't some groundbreaking theory, since people have been saying for a while now how the blood pouring out of Charlie's neck clearly showed that it was an exit wound.
I guess, is that routine to see that much blood that fast? It's like instant.
Yeah, I've never seen that in any of my deployments, anything.
So if that was an exit wound, the bullet surely came from behind the tent. And initially, some of us thought maybe the shooter was in one of the buildings to the rear right or rear left of Charlie, and even I shared this video showing a possible gun flash coming from one of those areas. However, I'm no longer so sure about that building, since I have just noticed a suspicious vehicle parked at exactly the right angle behind Charlie. And I want you guys to really take a close look at how someone opens the trunk just before the shot rings out, and then it slams shut immediately before anyone could see inside of it.
Too many. Counting or not.
Now, I know some people are going to be in the comments saying how that car belonged to someone who was Charlie's very good friend. I mean, I posted a video of a guy who was standing behind the tent with gloves on, and the Turning Point COO Tyler Boyer immediately commented on my X post telling me it was Blake Neff, who's also a member of their team. I really wonder why they won't address any of my other questions or any of yours. Also, let me remind you that Andrew Colvett was also very, very close to Charlie, and he just admitted that he knew about those text messages that Candace Owens exposed.
To address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there.
His boss and close friend died under extremely suspicious circumstances, and instead of releasing this text chain himself, he sat on it until someone else released it. So yeah, I don't trust anyone who was standing next to Charlie that day because all of them seemed to be following a script. Candace mentions George Zinn, and I agree he was clearly the biggest decoy out there, and we still don't know who he was talking to before he started making a scene. However, you gotta remember, there was more than just one decoy out there. We know people were just sneaking around on multiple roofs only minutes before the shooting. Then there was this guy who was wearing the same red t-shirt as Tyler Robinson and was handing over something suspiciously to another person who looked like a federal agent, if you ask me. And there were many other strange characters around Charlie as well, and all of them were seemingly trying to cause a distraction. Now, as for why these decoys were needed, the answer is simple. They wanted to hide what they were doing underneath that tent. For instance, you remember the guy who was seemingly using hand signals to communicate with someone.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Well, turns out he was wearing Meta camera glasses, and instead of giving aid to Charlie, he decided to tap to start or stop recording on those glasses, which obviously makes no sense at all. Then how about all the people who decided to grab and pass on objects from the crime scene before they even tried to help Charlie? Yeah, we saw lots of handoffs, didn't we? We didn't see any of this for the first few days, and instead, all of our attention was drawn to these decoys, and that's a hallmark signature of a military-style assassination. The same thing happened when JFK or Martin Luther King were shot. We're only just finding out about how our agencies buried the truth about those incidents. And they pretty much did the same thing here as well. They stopped local law enforcement from interviewing people of interest.
Just 10-14, I'm still about 15 out, but the 1-2 unit that's going to be up there to interview, as per SBI and FBI, we've been given clear direction not to interview, confirming negative interview until they get there.
140, we were not going to interview, we are just arriving now.
Copy that.
Building 151, this was relayed by Salt Lake. They're advising a complainant called 911, and he was stating there's an APB out on him for the shooting at UVU. He's now pinging at the Urban Pioneer Cafe at SMBB break.
I was just told that the FBI wants you to stand by there with him, and they're on their way to you. Thank you. And that came from the agent that's leaving Provo PD right now.
Then they released those fake-looking text messages to justify their lone shooter argument. I mean, just listen to what Tyler was allegedly doing after the shooting, according to these texts.
Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still, be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it.
The problem is that people in that area were pretty actively recording everything the cops were doing.
There are about 6 armed men in the backyard of a home right next to UVU campus. Apparently they are looking for another suspect. Maybe another suspect has not been apprehended, and they're actively searching.
And yet we haven't seen any video of Tyler Robinson sneaking around that place. Another reason why people believe that this was a professional hit is the presence of that drone or drones, which were flying way too fast and did not look like something you would use in commercial videography. Now, Candace also said this in her latest broadcast.
3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay. He did not express that to me. So I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that.
Some people are using this claim to say that Charlie Kirk could have also faked his death. I know this sounds ridiculous, but we have to look at everything seriously because a lot of people truly believe it. I mean, if Charlie was fearing for his life or getting pressured, someone might have asked him to get out of the spotlight if he wanted to stay alive. This would explain why there was pretty much no blood on the grass where he fell. It might also explain why some of his crew members were perfectly in place, ready to record him as he was taken away to the SUV. This can also explain why people close to him, including his wife, are acting so strangely.
Speeches that no one's heard of. We have interviews that no one's heard of. We have stuff from Korea and Japan that no one's heard of.
Podcasts.
So, I mean, in the words of my husband, buckle up, because there is a lot of content to be had. And we have so many amazing things down the pipeline that we are working on currently that will
unveil in due time.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
And so,
and by the way, those are things Charlie himself
that he wanted.
It's pretty clear that instead of looking deeper into these things, they just want to move on. The conflicting information about Charlie's autopsy also makes people believe that he could still be alive.
So I did do the request. They emailed me back. He did not go in for an autopsy. The death certificate was signed by the doctor at the hospital.
Oh, okay. Can you just do a field clip documenting that?
I'm sorry, 10-9?
Can you just add a step to the case documenting that there was no autopsy?
I've been told that Charlie did indeed have an autopsy. I wanted to let you guys know that because I saw a lot of rumors that were circulating that he did not have an autopsy. That has been confirmed. An autopsy did take place.
And even if they did the autopsy, the question is, why was he taken to a distant hospital where all of the staff were new, including the guy who allegedly performed the autopsy later on?
A new CEO and therefore a new lead surgeon, Andrew Zenger, over at the hospital, the regional hospital that Charlie was taken to, although that was not the nearest hospital from the university, and it also ranked extremely low in terms of the most best equipped hospital, if you will, to deal with the sort of trauma that Charlie was suffering from, a neck wound, obviously. I was also informed that the coroner in this case was also brand spanking new. That name has not yet been released. I am told that person is new.
Now, if you ask me, I think Charlie just went up against the wrong people and they killed him in front of the whole world to send a message. And instead of catching these people, our agencies and lawmakers are just trying to distract us. I mean, did you see Pam Bondi testifying in front of the Senate? It looked so fake. She got mad every time someone mentioned Epstein, but she had this facial expression when Republican senators complained about the FBI looking through their phone records.
You can't, can you?
I can't, Senator, and I
Can
can't.
you tell me why my phone records, when I'm the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, were sought by the Jack Smith agents? Why did they ask to know who I called and what I was doing from January 4th to the 7th? Can you tell me that?
No, Senator, and there were 8 senators in total.
I want to know why these senators haven't raised hell over TPUSA geofencing 277,000 people on the day of Charlie Kirk's memorial.
Break a little bit of news on your program, Jesse. Our partners that do sort of geotagging with devices, They told us that they tracked over 277,000 devices in the vicinity of State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona.
Wow.
277,000.
The answer is simple. It's not part of the script. Just as you're not supposed to ask why our president keeps talking about pardoning child traffickers like Ghislaine Maxwell.
Its term today, Mr. President.
Say it.
The Supreme Court is back and
Yeah.
said that they rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance of getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're?
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
You know, I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I would have to take a look. Did they reject that?
She wanted to appeal her conviction.
And what happened?
They said that they were not going to hear her appeal.
I see. Well, I'll take a look at it.
Consider
I will speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So, but I'll speak. I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be a candidate for clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it. I have to ask DOJ.
Since Diddy got such a lenient sentence, it only makes sense that we let Ghislaine go free as well. This is a country controlled by billionaires who hurt our children, and people on both sides are compromised. The swamp and their allies in Big Pharma know this. A healthy, energized population is harder to control. That's why unelected bureaucrats at the FDA have made stem cell therapies practically impossible to access in the US. Not because they don't work, but because they work too well, and that threatens Big Pharma. If you don't know, stem cells are like tiny repair crews in your body, and they go fix things that need to be fixed. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it. And you know who's been ahead of the curve on this for years? Joe Rogan. Just watch.
I've had a bunch of surgeries that I avoided where the doctor's like, you're going to need surgery. And I was like, are you fucking sure? I wound up getting stem cells in my back. I had bulging discs.
What did you do?
Decompression, stem cells. Fixed it. I have zero problems. Zero problems with my neck. Zero problems with my shoulder. I had a full-length rotator cuff tear in my shoulder. And they were like, you're going to need surgery. 100%. And I went back to the doctor 6 months later. It's like, this is fucking crazy. Like, that tear doesn't exist anymore.
The FDA has blocked these treatments. As a result, people are forced to go overseas just to get access to their own biology. And it's expensive, unregulated, and out of reach for most of us. Just one placenta stem cell injection can run you back $50K. Honestly, I don't have that kind of cash on me right now, but here's what most people don't know. There is a natural way to support your own stem cell activity, and it comes from high flavanol cocoa. Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee actually backs this up. Check it out.
Wait a minute. This is a big one. Chocolate regenerates stem cells?
All chocolate has some cacao in it, except for white chocolate. Cacao actually comes from a plant. Studies have been done to show that the flavonols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees in a beehive in your bloodstream, and they go out and they find wherever it needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it. And so we can eat foods like high flavanol cocoa in order to be able to actually get the stem cells to work a little bit better.
That's right. Dark chocolate. But here's the thing, flavanols are the good stuff found in cocoa beans, but they're usually destroyed during the chocolate making process. That's where Black Forest supplements come in. They've created the first ever high flavanol cocoa powder packed with everything your body actually needs. And it's only 20 calories. I mix it with my coffee or my protein shake. It tastes amazing. This isn't regular cocoa. It's stem cell fuel. No sugar, 20 calories, mix it in coffee or shakes. If you feel old, slow, or just off, lazy stem cells might be why. But this, it flips the switch. Studies show over 100% increase in stem cell circulation. For the next 48 hours, viewers of this channel get a buy one and get one free special promo, so order yours right now using the link in the comments below. Now, let me know what you think about all of this in today's video. Do you also believe this theory about Charlie faking his own death? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one.